Hey there, you beautiful legend. This is like the 15th time I'm trying to record this video, and it's beginning to really piss me off because I don't really know what to say. You see, I only have a topic, so the title of the video, and I just talk about it. I don't have a script, and I think it's more natural that way. We build this relationship, just free flowing, we become friends, best of friends. You tell me your secrets, I don't tell you my secrets. I'm all kidding. Anyway, my name is Terry McGinnis to be exact. I'm a founder, advisor, producer, you name it. Over the last decade, I've done a lot of stuff and I acquired a lot of skills. Very, very specific set of skills.
Don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But I have a very particular lack of skills. I will never be able to find you. But what I do have is $2 and a Casio wristwatch. You can have one of them.
Haha, cringe, taken joke. And what I want to do is, because a lot of people over the years been coming to me and asking me, hey, Terry, how do I do this or that? Or, because that growth is kind of, in digital marketing is kind of my expertise, and branding and everything that revolves around that. So I thought, you know what?
What? Is that funny? Is that humorous? What?
F it. I'm just going to start, producing these YouTube videos for you guys to hopefully share, some knowledge, some inspiration, and hopefully you can take away some stuff for your own business journey or personal growth or whatever you want to do with whatever I say, this information. So, today's topic is about lead generation, but I don't mean like just Google ads or Facebook ads generation, more of the old classical lead gen where you make a website and you drive traffic through it and you capture leads. Nowadays we have Google ads. They provide you lead capture forms. Same with Facebook. They don't want to take users off site. And for some campaigns that can be very successful, and I'll make a video down the line for that. But for most, if you want to create a lead gen brand, what you want to do is you want to follow this kind of guidelines that I'm going to set up for you. And that's what worked for me, and that's what worked for the agencies and the brands I used to work with, all the way from car manufacturers, car finance companies, all the way to big movie studios and, like fashion brands. So lead generation, just what it means for me, essentially, is producing content, a website where people land on, okay? So any website, really, you land on Google, if they capture your search terms, technically you are a lead to them as well, okay? So first of all, what you want to do is pick your niche. Usually people fall into this lead gen world through working, for example, for an insurance company and seeing how the process works, or they could be, like working for a sales company, learning the process works, what kind of leads, these companies buy, and so on and so forth. The biggest kind of companies that buy leads are, of course, insurance companies, legal firms, making wills, powers of attorney, you name it. So there's actually a lead essentially is customers' information that you sell on to a brand, essentially your own customer, really. Okay, so now I'm waffling on a bit, and I'm just trying to get my thoughts in order because, like I said, I don't have a script. I'm just talking freely to you and give you my advice from years of my experience. So what I want to say is, first of all, find a niche that you can sell leads to. Insurance companies, you need to be regulated to do anything kind of in that world. But for example, housing, real estate, car finance, that's a bit more tricky. A lot of providers that I see nowadays, they're not regulated at all. But I see a lot of people just going out there with a lasso and trying to capture as much information, customer information as possible, sell on these leads to these brands. That's not the best way. A lot of these people just use PPC traffic, Facebook ads, and they have god-awful pages. If you want to create a brand that's actually going to generate you 5 to 6 figures a year, or even 7 figures a year, depending how hard you work, how scalable your brand is, you actually want to create a brand that is not just going to, you're not just going to use PPC traffic or Facebook ads traffic. You actually want to create a brand that's going to rank organically. So essentially what that means, you have to create a website that has enough content for people to find it useful enough. So Google ranks your pages, when people type in search terms or whatever, depending on your brand, and you rank on those search terms. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to create. So my advice is, first of all, find the niche you want to sell your leads to. So for this example, we're going to be using solicitors, attorneys, lawyers. So for example, I have a lot of lawyer friends, attorneys, okay, and they're always looking for new clients. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify what type of lead they want, okay? So a lot of it is just basic information: name, email address, phone number. It could be like, okay, what service you're looking for example, wills. It could be, powers of attorney, probate, all these different areas. So if I have 4 or 5 different clients in the legal realm that want to buy leads from me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on a domain site like Namecheap, GoDaddy. And this is my strategy that I have used over the years for both brands, myself personally, marketing agencies, you name it. And it usually always works. It drives a lot of traffic and it drives a lot of sales, well, revenue for us as lead gen, okay? So you want to pick a domain that's relatable to your brand because you want to build out a brand. A good example of this is farewell.com. They do a great job, an amazing job at generating leads. And this is not a sponsorship or anything like that. I'm just saying as an example, they make excellent lead qualification sites. And they have solicitors in-house as well. So the turnaround for leads is very quick. So they're a big competitor and they have a lot of funding and their brand is excellent. What you want to do is you want to register a domain that can also stand as a brand. Okay, so .com is the go-to. .co.uk, if you're in Britain, that should be your go-to if you can't get a .com. .net, that's kind of like, after .com. Country level domains number 2. If you're in Germany, you use .de. If you're in the UK, .co.uk or .uk. If you're in Russia, you use .ru, to really localize your lead capture. The next step is after you pick your domain, build a brand around it. I found that once you get your domain, it's a lot easier to develop a brand around it rather than develop a brand and then scramble to find a domain that fits. So this idea is just, okay, go out there, get a domain that can somewhat match, your lead gen site. Say you go on namecheap.com and you're going to go on legaltips123.com. Obviously, don't use the number. I'm just using here as an example. And then what you want to do is develop the website. So once you have your domain, a lot of lead generation companies use WordPress. There's a lot of tools for lead capture. Personally, what I would use if you have no development knowledge, no development skills, there's a lot of what you see is what you get builders, website builders. One personally we used to use in our agencies before was called Swipe Pages. Swipe Pages is extremely easy to use. It's a drag and drop. You plug in your domain and you design your site. They even have templates preset for you. And all you really need to do is upload your logo, upload your information, and just make a lead capture form. It's that easy. And it does everything else for you, okay? So now you have your site ready. Now it's time to actually do content. So ensure that you provide informational content, factual content. You don't make stats up. Because remember, this lead gen, what we want to do is we want to build a website that will rank highly on Google organically, not just through paid traffic. Because that traffic that comes in to your website is absolutely free, okay? Well, it kind of free, because in the end, if you want to scale, obviously you're going to need to hire copywriters and all these other people when you scale. But for now, all you really need to do is just write some content. Say, for example, since I'm building a legal website to capture legal information, say, for example, for wills, probate, and whatever else my solicitor or attorney friends need, I'm going to provide information, factual information, to capture these leads. Say, for example, I'm going to provide information on probate. I'm going to provide information on wills, lasting power of attorney. So you want to make your website as factual as possible. You want to make sure it's the go-to source, okay? You need to optimize your website so when people are searching for terms, for example, what is probate, or what are the, what is the age limit for power of attorney, or those search terms. Obviously, once you pick your niche, you should figure out the questions your potential leads will ask. So you can capture that information as best as possible and then pass that information on to your client or your customer. Okay? So work with your customers and ask them, like, what are the questions the people that come to you ask the most, or how do you acquire them? Okay, so a lot of these people are just going to be honest with you and like, okay, this is what information we need, and usually this is how we get it. So you can take that and develop that into your lead capture strategy. Okay, and sometimes even these customers, they even pay your marketing budget. If you sell yourself good enough and if you have the expertise and the skills to actually deliver on it, you can negotiate very, very lucrative deals and contracts saying, hey, you pay for our marketing budget, we'll reduce the cost per lead, and you'll get leads cheaper even. So that is kind of my advice. Really, all you need to do is get a great domain name, develop a site that is very easy to browse, first of all, and you have your CTAs as well. So one thing maybe I forgot to mention is that after every kind of piece of information on your website, you should always have like a CTA. A CTA is a call to action. So a call to action essentially means, hey, click here, fill in this form, and we'll get back to you, or give us a call. Okay, so the best websites, the best lead generation websites like farewell.com, they're a great example of how lead generation should be done. Okay, the turnaround time is key. Okay, the biggest lead generation companies, the most successful lead generation companies, they usually have in-house sales teams, right? So whenever a customer submits a form, it goes to a switchboard, that goes to a salesperson. They pick up the phone, they call the customer, and they qualify the lead. For a qualified lead, you're going to get way more money, and the returns are just going to be greater. So we have warm leads, we have qualified leads, and we have cold leads as well. So that is for you to figure out with your customer. A cold lead essentially is you capture the information and you send it directly to the customer without any qualification. Okay, a warm lead is when you actually do something with the lead to progress them into a stage. So you don't just send a bunch of crap to your customer that you sell leads to. This could be calling them or having them to complete an additional questionnaire saying, hey, can you fill in these questions? And then from there, you can filter out and figure out which leads are best sent to your customers who are buying your leads. And a qualified lead is essentially when you qualify absolutely everything, you check all the boxes for your customer, and you send that lead directly to your customer saying, hey, this guy is ready to buy, or this guy is ready to use your service. And that's it. That's, it's these are just kind of my tips of how to generate leads. Obviously, it's a learning process. You kind of have to go through everything and learn yourself, really, or be part of a marketing agency or a lead gen company to kind of absorb this knowledge. But actually starting a lead gen is not hard. It's pretty easy. All you need to do is have a good idea, go out and find a few customers. If you can't find customers, LinkedIn is a good source of generating business for yourself. There's a lot of people that want to buy leads because, believe it or not, generating leads can be pretty hard, can be pretty difficult, especially for young startup companies. So a lot of them usually just go and outsource the lead gen to different companies. So tips from this video: find a great domain name, build a website that is factually correct. There's a lot of facts there. Optimize the website for the information the customers would be searching for, and make sure you have CTAs that you can capture their information and pass it on. Obviously, depending on where you live, in the UK, you have to comply with GDPR regulations. In California, they have their own, and different countries have different regulations on how you handle information. As long as you comply with those regulations, you should be absolutely fine. So hopefully you found this video useful. This is my first video. I thought I'll just kind of do these videos, see how people respond, whether they like it or not, and go from there. So leave any suggestions, what you want to see in future videos, and so my name is Terry McGinnis. I'm the founder of our online shop. I've been in startups, I've been part of startups that succeeded, that exited, some that miserably failed. That's part of life. That's part of learning. I learned a lot of skills. I met a lot of people. I have a big network that I pull resources and skills from. And I thought, you know what? I'll just start making videos, educating people, give them my knowledge for free, grow this community, and also at the same time promote a charity that really means a lot to me, which is Only One. And essentially what we're trying to do is protect the seas and ocean life. So, in the description below if you want to find out more about it. And good luck, you're a legend, and I'm sure you're going to make it. And I'll see you in the next video. So thank you, and I'm proud of you.